Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for standing by, and welcome to MOGU fourth quarter fiscal year 2020 financial results. At this time, all participants are in a listen-only mode. After the speaker's presentation, there will be a question and answer session. To ask a question during this time, you will need to press star and the number 1 on your telephone keypad. If you require assistance at any time, please press star 0. I would now like to turn the call over to Christian Arnell. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. MOGU's earnings release was distributed earlier today and is available at the IR website ir.mogu-inc.com, as well as through Business Wire services. Before we begin, I'd like to remind you that this conference call contains forward-looking statements within the meaning of Section 21E of the Securities Exchange Act of 1934, as amended and as defined in the U.S. Private Securities Litigation Reform Act of 1995. These forward-looking statements are based upon management's current expectations and current market and operating conditions and relate to events that involve known or unknown risks, uncertainties, or other factors, all of which are difficult to predict and many of which are beyond the company's control, which may cause the company's actual results, performance, or achievements to differ materially from those in the forward-looking statements. Further information regarding these and other risks, uncertainties, or factors is included in the company's filings with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. The company does not undertake any obligation to update any forward-looking statement as a result of new information, future events, or otherwise, except as required under applicable law. On the call today from MOGU are Mr. Shark Chen, Chairman and CEO, Mr. Raymond Huang, Chief Strategy Officer, and Ms. Huiqing Ellie Wang, Financial Controller. Mr. Chen will review the business operations and company highlights, followed by Mr. Huang, who will discuss financials. All of them will be available to take your questions during the Q&A session that follows. It is now my pleasure to introduce Chairman and CEO, Mr. Chen. Please go ahead.
大家好，感谢大家来参加我们2020财年第4季度的电话会议。然后我还是会用中文来介绍我们这个季度的状况，然后 Raymond 会帮我做翻译。
Hello everyone, thank you for joining our fourth quarter earnings call today. Today I will introduce the company in Chinese first, and Raymond will help to translate.
我们刚刚过去的那个季度是比较不寻常的一个季度，在国内的环境中都有相当的面临的这样的危机。MOGU阶段仍然坚持以直播为核心的电商战略，我们的直播业务也继续保持着高速的增长。在上一个季度，我们直播的 GMV 同比增长了 54.1%， 达到了 15.81 亿人民币，与2020财年同比增长了 91.6%， 到了 78.8 亿元。直播业务已经成为公司发展的核心驱动力，与直播相关的 GMV 已经贡献了本季度总 GMV 的 65.4%， 和全年总 GMV 的 46.2%。 我们正在全方位的提升主播的销售能力，通过赋能主播能够持续的去提升直播业务的规模。
The past quarter was a highly unusual one. Our live video broadcasting business remained the focal point of our strategy throughout the pandemic, and it continued to maintain strong growth momentum. LVB associate GMV during the quarter increased by 54.1% year-over-year to RMB 1.6 billion, and 91.6% during the fiscal year 2020 to RMB 7.9 billion. Our LVB business is now the key driving force behind our growth, accounting for 65.4% of our GMV during the quarter and 46.2% during the entire fiscal year 2020. We're working to help KOLs improve their sales skill with new tools and empower them with additional supply chain infrastructure as we build this business out to scale.
我们的直播购买用户也持续保持稳定的增长。过去12个月，直播业务的活跃购买用户数同比增长了 44.9%， 就达到了360万人。直播业务显示出了非常强劲的生命力，用户粘性也越来越强。我们的直播购买用户 平均每个月有21天在观看他们喜欢的主播直播，他们的15天复购率也达到了86%。
Over the past 12 months, active buyers of live video broadcasting business continue to maintain steady growth, increasing 44.9% year-over-year to 3.6 million. The LVV business continues to generate strong growth momentum and increasing user stickiness. Active buyers for our LVV business watch live video broadcasts 21 days a month on average, and their 15 days repurchase rate reached 86% during the quarter.
我们致力于持续的提升用户和主播之间的粘性，让主播的人设魅力与用户的互动。除了在比较短时间爆发性的直播间里面呈现以外呢，还能够在社区中长期稳定的呈现，并且留存下来。我们非常高兴的看到，很多用户在社交关系中向其他人去介绍他们自己喜欢的主播，也吸引了很多新的用户购买。我们将继续扩大这一优势，让更多的用户为主播带来更加精准的粉丝。
We are committed to continuously strengthening the connection between users and the LVV hosts. Our community of content creators is helping to highlight each host's unique personality, improve their interaction with users, provide snapshots of moments in the showroom. We are pleased to see many users refer their favorite LVV hosts to other friends, which has helped expand and diversify our new user base. We will continue to build out these functions to attract high quality and targeted users.
基于过去4年的发展经验，以我们作为电商直播最早的发明者所积累下来的这个深刻的理解，我们建立了主播比较完善的成长体系，也就是我们内部称之为 K10 的体系。我们根据主播的粉丝量、短视频内容的发布量、历史直播的销售数据，来量化每一个主播的商业化能力，并且呢，分别为他们配置不同的激励和权益政策，让我们的主播能够更加有目的、有目标、成体系的成长。每一个主播其实就像一座一座的商业地产，一旦成长起来以后呢，就能为他们自己，为我们平台带来比较稳定的收益。
As a pioneer in the live video broadcasting sector, we have built a dedicated system, which we call K10 system internally, over the last 4 years. This is a complete ecosystem for live video broadcasting hosts to thrive in. We quantify the monetization capabilities based on the number of fans, number of short videos they release, and the historical sales data from their live video broadcasting rooms. Therefore, we provide them with different tools and incentives so that they can grow in a more systematic manner. LVV hosts are somewhat like commercial properties. Once established, they can bring a steady stream of revenue for themselves and for the platform.
今年爆发的这个新冠疫情是对整个人类社会的一次考验，对整个中国的服装产业也确实不例外。千万万的服装从业者遭受了毁灭性的打击。我们确实的观察到很多服装工厂因为疫情而停工，而且由于新冠疫情在全球范围内的流行，导致了出口的这个紧缩，然后内销也骤减，所以有非常多的服装工厂遇到了生计的困难。广州等地的传统这些批发市场生意锐减大约40%。传统线下的服饰商家也迫切需要转型，寻找新的生存机会。虽然困难很多，但是我们相信在危难中也孕育着机会。电商直播它这种化整为零、直接透明，然后去掉中间商的特点，也让更多的处在困难中的线下服装商家愿意拥抱。随着电商直播在消费者中的推广和普及，产业链上面的各个不同的机构、基地商家也正在雨后春笋一样的冒出来。我们观察到，像广州的万家、白马、13行等等传统的批发市场，也从原来禁止拍照和直播，到现在已经转变成非常热烈的欢迎直播。这都是在短短1个季度内发生的重大变化。
The outbreak of COVID-19 this year has been a test for the entire human society and has not spared the entire Chinese fashion industry. Tens of millions of clothing practitioners have been devastated. Many garment factories have been shut down due to the pandemic. Due to the worldwide spread of COVID-19, tighter export restrictions and sharp declines in domestic sales have made it difficult for garment factories to operate profitably. Business activity in the wholesale market in Guangzhou and other places has dropped by 40%, and traditional offline apparel merchants are looking for ways to survive this crisis. Despite the disruption, however, we know crisis also creates opportunities. Live video broadcasting help merchants to reach their customers, collect massive small orders, and bypass middlemen with transparent pricing. Offline apparel suppliers are all embracing this opportunity. Despite prior criticism from wholesale market practitioners, we observed that they became the biggest advocates for LVB during this quarter.
在这些产业的变化趋势当中，MOGU依然是最能够抓住机会的公司之一。这是因为我们的运营一直非常重视对人的运营、对货的控制。我们张开双臂的拥抱那些能够提供广泛货源的伙伴，来匹配我们自己的主播，进行适合他们自己粉丝的这种货品销售。通过积极扩展品牌、扩展品类、扩展价位，我们的货品丰富度在过去几个月内得到了非常好的提升。购买用户的 UP 值也不断上升，主播和用户之间正在通过平台匹配更多更好的货而发生深入的连接。在上个季度，通过我们搭建的琳琅供应链平台，主播已经可以实现在线化、自动化的自主选货，来加速他们的成长。
As the industry evolves, MOGU is best positioned to capture this opportunity. Our business model is based on KOL operation and the tight control of the supply chain. We have strong preference towards supply chain partners that have great access to products, and we bridge them with hosts and the most relevant set of fans. Through active expansion of brand lists, product categories, and price ranges, we have made significant progress with our product offerings in the last few months. Our ARPU has been increasing. Our LVB hosts are developing stronger bonds with our users through quality products that are empowered by the platform. In addition, we have developed a Linlang system in which our hosts can select and curate their products from the supply chain directly. This system clearly empowers them and accelerates their growth.
今年的新冠疫情也使得很多原本有实力的服装品牌的销量受阻，积累下大量的库存。我们也适时地推进了我们的直播品牌特卖战略，用丰富的品牌货品提供差异化的直播货盘，同时呢，也帮助疫情之下困难的品牌商进行销售，对他们进行了佣金优惠甚至免佣的政策。例如我们在3月27日的耐克阿迪的品牌特卖专场里面，我们单场就完成了4000多万人民币的销售额。
The COVID-19 outbreak has made it difficult for many strong offline apparel brands. They reached out to us when they had build-ups in the inventory and the shops that were shut down with no business visibility. We deployed our LVB brand strategy in a timely way to enrich our supply chain with brand apparel products. We empower brand partners with dedicated LVB hosts with the exemption of commission fees. For example, we have achieved more than 40 million RMB GMV from our Nike and Adidas dedicated sales on March 27, and that was only sales for one night.
我们相信最坏的时期呢已经过去了，美好的未来正在到来。未来我们将继续坚持直播为核心的电商战略，持续扩大主播的队伍，扩大他们的数量和质量，也纵深建设供应链，深入推进直播品牌特卖的战略，并进行更加高效的人货匹配。 我们相信我们正在带领公司走在一条正确的道路上，公司长期的成绩值得所有人期待。
We believe the worst is now behind us, and we are seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Going forward, we remain committed to deploying the best-in-class LVB e-commerce strategy, expanding the lineup of our LVB hosts, and improving their quality, continuing to build supply chain infrastructure, and expanding our brand partner strategy. We will achieve better synergy between our KOLs and supply chain partners. We are very confident that we are ideally positioned and are on the right track to capture the massive growth potential that LVB e-commerce in China presents.
好，谢谢大家。后面的时间我就交给 Raymond。
Thank you, Shark. Thanks again, everyone who joined our conference call today. So now I will walk you through our fourth quarter and the fiscal year 2020 financials. We believe year-over-year comparison is the best way to review our performance. Unless otherwise stated, all percentage changes I'm going to give you will be on that basis. Let's review the financials first. We'll go through the figures for the fourth quarter of fiscal year 2020 first, and followed by that of the fiscal year 2020. Our GMV for the 12-month period ended March 31st, 2020 was RMB 17.1 billion, which remains stable year-over-year. Our focus on growing the GMV from live video broadcasting, which has increased on 91.6% during the same period to 7.9 billion. LVB business continues to grow as a proportion of the total GMV, and it is now accounting for 65.4% for the fourth quarter and 46.2% for the entire fiscal year 2020. Active buyers of LVB business in last 12 months grew 44.9% to 3.6 million. So let's now turn to revenues. In last quarter, total revenue came in at RMB 119 million, a decrease of 45.3%. But this was primarily due to a 43% decrease in the commission revenue and 74.4% decrease in the marketing revenue. The commission revenue decreased to RMB 66 million, primarily due to the impact of COVID-19 pandemic, including the cancellation of orders as a result of logistics disruption in February, weakness in the fashion and apparel category, and also our exemption of commission fees for the brand merchants as our support. Commission revenue from the LVB business, however, grew significantly and was in line with the continued strong growth in the LVB associated GMV. The LVB business also continues to generate a stable commission rate, which was, however, partially offset by a slowdown in the marketplace business. Marketing service revenues, which is mainly generated from our marketplace business unit, decreased to RMB 18.2 million, which is primarily due to the outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic, restructuring of our business mix, which shows our determined effort to develop our LVB business. After the revenue, I will now walk you through our major costs and expense. Cost of revenue decreased slightly by 4% to RMB 58.6 million from RMB 61.1 million in the same period of fiscal year 2019. That was primarily due to the decrease of payment handling costs and the IT-related expense. Sales and marketing expense decreased by 56% to RMB 78.2 million from RMB 178.2 million in the same period of fiscal 2019. And that was primarily due to optimized spending on user acquisition and branding expense. R&D expense is decreased by 42.6% to RMB 32.8 million from RMB 57.2 million in the same period of fiscal year 2019, primarily as a result of headcount optimization. G&A expense decreased by 75.5% to RMB 11.5 million from RMB 46.8 million in the same period of fiscal year 2019. primarily due to the reversal of share-based compensation expense as a result of the headcount optimization. Amortization of intangible assets increased by 93.5% to 87.1 million from 45 million in the same period of fiscal year 2019. And that was due to an increase in the amortization of intangible assets recorded as a result of the business cooperation agreement that MOGU entered into with Tencent, which became effective from April 2019. Loss from operations was RMB 149.1 million. Net loss attributable to MOGU's ordinary shareholders was RMB 141.9 million. Adjusted net loss was RMB 79.3 million. Basic and diluted loss per ADS were RMB 1.3. Adjusted EBITDA was negative RMB 83.6 million. Let's now move to the financials for the entire fiscal year of 2020. Total revenue came in at RMB 835.3 million, a decrease of 22.2%. The commission revenue came in at RMB 438.3 million, a decrease of 13.7%. The marketing service revenues came in at RMB 438.3 million, a decrease of 38.6%. This was primarily due to the restructuring of our business mix towards LVP business and also the outbreak of COVID-19 in the latest quarter. Cost of revenues decreased slightly by 6.4% to RMB 293.8 million. Sales and marketing expense decreased by 17.6% to RMB 613.2 million, primarily due to optimized spending on user acquisition expense and the user incentive program, which was partially offset by an increase in branding and marketing spending. R&D expense decreased by 27.6% to RMB 171.1 million. G&A expense decreased by 23.9%. The loss from operations altogether was RMB 2,072.9 million, compared with the loss of operations of 574.2 million in the fiscal year 2019. Net loss attributable to MOGU's ordinary shareholders was RMB 2,223.6 million. This was primarily attributable to a goodwill impairment incurred, which was associated with the weaker than expected synergies created by the acquisition of MailyWorks in February 2016. The shortfall in the realized synergies was in part due to the repositioning of the company's strategy towards building a KOL-driven interactive e-commerce model, as well as increasingly competitive market environment. In addition, we have a sizable increase in the amortization of intangible assets as a result of a BCA, business cooperation agreement, that MOGU has entered into with Tencent, which became effective from April 2019. We have also recorded a RMB 114 million loss from our investee company, WeShop, which was closed at the end of last year due to strategy reasons. Adjusted net loss was RMB 414.2 million. Basic and diluted loss per ADS were RMB 20.45. Adjusted EBITDA was negative RMB 320.1 million. We continue to closely monitor the evolving situation in response to the outbreak of COVID-19. This pandemic quarter has accelerated digital adoption and transformation within the Chinese fashion industry. Fashion brands and supply chain partners are embracing LVB as a new form of sales. Our KOL-driven ecosystem is best positioned and prepared to meet their demands. We have clearly reached an inflection point in that the LVB business will be our main growth driver going forward. We'll continue to provide differentiated, personalized, and immersive shopping experience to our customers. So, Christian, with that, we would like to open the call for Q&A.
At this time, if anybody has a question, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. Again, that would be star 1 on your telephone keypad. We'll just wait a moment to compile the Q&A roster. Your first question comes from Charlie Chen from China Renaissance. Your line is open.
好的，Shark 和 Raymond 你们好，然后其他管理层你们好。我这边其实想看到就是你们 LVB 的这个生意现在是做的还是非常的不错的，这个在这么一个困难情况下还有这么好的一个增长。我想请问一下，就是在未来的一段时间里边，公司对这个 LVB 这一块的一个策略方面是怎么想？因为从我看来的话，只要继续持续的发展这样一个生意的话，可能会有3种方面的一个考虑。一个呢，就是说在增大的一个力度去吸收新的这个主播的人数，或者呢是在每一个的这个主播上面要求他们或者是鼓励他们提高这个播放这个这个时段，然后或者呢是用了就是通过你们的一些方法来帮就是提高每一个小时里边这样一个这个销售的一个 GMV。那所以在这3个方向来看呢，就是想请公司请教一下，就是哪一个方向可能会是公司看起来未来发展的一个重点突破的方向，或者哪一个方向对于公司来说，在目前来说这个投资或者是回报的一个profile 会比较好一点。好，那我们现在就自己翻译一下。Thanks for taking my question. So my first question is regarding the strategy of your LVB business in the near future. So as far as I can see, there are 3 ways to continue to expand your GMV from the LVB business, which is number 1, increasing continually recruit new hosts or broadcast hosts so that you can have more people joining this business. And number 2 is increasing the length of broadcasting by each host. And also number 3, increasing the efficiency of the broadcasting sales, which means increasing the GMV per hour generated from this business. So within these 3, which one do you think is your possibly your focus in the near future, and how do you gauge that, or how do you evaluate the ROE or return from the investment in this business? Thank you.
谢谢 Charlie。我现在回答一下，看那个 Raymond 有没有补充。就是你要说的那个3个方向其实非常清楚，确实是从运营的角度上来讲，我们现在可以有的3个选择，就是增加人数、增加主播的时长以及提升效率。那么我想这个在MOGU现在这个阶段因为我们做直播事实上是比较早，我们16年初就开始做，到现在已经是第3年了，第4年了，所以这个对我们的主播的人数和时长来说，我们其实已经是就从主播的人数和时长的角度上来讲，我们认为已经是在一个相对成熟的一个状态。当然仍然可以主要是在人数方面还是可以持续的增长，但从时长的这个角度上来说呢，我们的主播已经比较专业，也比较勤奋，而且很多时候我事实上在更多的关心他们的健康就是不能播的时间太长那从我们接下来的时间里面，其实比较有效的应该是增加主播的效率。那这个效率方面主要是来自于2个因素的增长。第一个最重要的还是供应链，因为大多数的主播都还是作为一个素人这样成长起来少数有一些这个经济机构对他们有一些帮助，但无论是个人还是机构，在这个供应链方面，就是在货的方面，他们还是非常怎么说呢？至少相对MOGU这样的平台来说的话，他们的能力肯定是会相差比较远。所以无论是这个品牌折扣商品的供货以及这些网红款的供应链，包括工厂源头的货等等，就几个货盘整个MOGU街的这个体系在运转起来，帮助他们 提供更多好的货，这个会带来更强的这个效率。比如刚才介绍的时候，我提到了在这个第4季度，那当时的那个有一场疯子，就是这个1000万单场4000万的就是由我们为这个主播匹配的阿迪和耐克的门店直播，那这个是可以有效的提高效率的。然后第2部分呢，就是主播的私域流量。那这个私域流量呢，主要是指在蘑菇店内他们和粉丝之间的相互关系不完全从这个信息流里面去获取流量包括蘑菇店内的群蘑菇店内的这个关注页面等等等等所以在蘑菇店内的这个私域流量现在占每个主播的这个流量的来源，它的比重正在逐步的变大。那目前还是公私域，我认为是一个相对比较健康的一个平衡的一个状态。但是私域流量的适当的扩大，可以提高他们的这个变现的效率，因为主播和粉丝关系越紧密，转化的效率是越高的。我好像说多了，刘文先翻译一下吧。
Okay. Sure. I will just briefly translate Chuck's answer. So basically, we have been doing the LV business for an extended period of time for the last 4 years, and apparently, as Charlie mentioned, it's very important that we need to increase the number of hosts, the duration of the show, and the efficiency of the LVB. But sometimes we think all these LVB hosts are actually very diligent, and we worry about their health and the sustainability. So we believe that to improve the LVB efficiency is the critical path that we'll take. So how to improve the efficiency? We have 2 ways. Number 1 is the supply chain empowerment. So because of all the individual hosts, they just don't have sufficient capability or know-how or resources or connection to build a solid and sufficient supply chain. So we can help them to introduce brand products, to introduce original factories, to introduce all the native internet KOL brands, so that they can have a very powerful support from the supply chain infrastructure that we provide. The best example we just quote is the Nike Adidas night we had in March this year. We had recorded the sales of 40 million in one night, and that was because of Nike and Adidas. All the KOLs on our platform, they're probably not capable of sourcing these 2 brands, but we MOGU as a platform, we could do that. So that's a huge value add we can provide to KOLs to improve their efficiency. And number 2 is about the proprietary traffic they have. So for all the KOLs, we are developing and we encourage them to develop their own proprietary traffic within the MOGU app. So because the fans will follow their timeline, enter into the chat room with them, have a stronger emotional bonding with the hosts, with the KOLs. Because of this very strong bonding and emotional connection, KOLs can easily or can better monetize their fans in a more efficient and effective way. So supply chain empowerment and the proprietary traffic expansion are 2 keys we think can improve the efficiency of LVB. Okay, maybe operator, we can turn to the next question.
Yes, if anybody has a question, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. Again, that would be star 1 on your telephone keypad. Your next question comes from Lucky Lau from AJ Asset Management. Your line is open.
管理层你们好，我想问几个问题。第一个呢，就是这个原来的这个 CEO 他就离开嘛，新的人有意向了吗
？OK， 老铁应该问可以再重复一下你的问题吗
好的，就是原来的这个 CFO 他是离开了公司，那新的人选已经有意向了吗？
方便在这里透露。
Maybe let me translate the question first. So basically, Lucky was asking about because the previous CFO left the company, and if the company has any plans. The company's answer is that it's probably not the best place to comment on this situation. Operator, maybe we can move on to the next question.
Wait, hi, can you listen? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah.
Yes. I will ask a question on the liquidity. I think our liquidity is not enough. So is it enough for us to do the share repurchase plan?
Sure. Okay, maybe I can take this question. Okay. Our liquidity, we believe that we are of view that the company, the LVB business especially, is growing very fast. So the market, as the market over time will realize the value of the company, and more and more investors will be following us. So liquidity is not really our concern, and we launched the share repurchase plan because we have a view that our share price currently is undervalued, and we want to deploy company's capital to buy back shares, and number one, to send a very strong message that we do believe the company is undervalued, and number two, we believe that this is also a very sensible thing to do from a company capital treasury management perspective.
好的，我还能再问一个问题吗？就是最新推出的这个网红底薪策略，对公司的这个财务压力会很大吗？
So maybe let me translate the question. So I think the question was, we provide base pay to the KOLs, this program, and if that creates any financial distress to the company, is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
这个问题我来回答吧。非常感谢你，肯定是非常关注我们公司的状况。这个政策我们是昨天在我们的这个年终的直播业务的新政策的发布会上才刚刚提出来的。蘑菇到从2016年3月份开始做我们的直播业务，如我们刚才所说，已经做了4年多的时间了。然后事实上，我们在整个这个直播的产业链条上的各个环节，我们都投入了比较多的这个努力。所以我们目前来说，我们是整个这个直播电商各个环节最完整的这个玩家之一。从简单的说，从直播平台的搭建、技术体系的搭建，到电商交易平台、电商服务平台，等等的，甚至包括这个金融服务的平台等等，我们都已经建得非常的完整。但是呢，有两个非常非常重要的这个要素，我们认为从长期来看，看5年甚至看10年来说，我们都应该是非常专注的，都把它持续的做好的。第一呢是我们的这个货品的供应链，第二呢是我们的网红，也就是事实上它是我们的销售人员，对吧？就是我们的销售队伍的建设。那从货品的供应链的这个角度上来讲，之前我们是完整应该说是一个非常典型的，像你先，我看你来不及。
Sure. Maybe I will translate the first part of the answer first. So basically, we are the pioneer of the LV business, and we spent the last 4 years very dedicated to develop and to establish a complete ecosystem for live video broadcasting. And as the pioneer of this industry, we know we have accumulated a lot of know-how throughout the entire supply chain We have built up a platform. We have the e-commerce closed loop system. We have the IT infrastructure. We also have the financial services that can support them. So we have a very full spectrum system that can support them. But going forward, we do believe that we want to dedicate our resources to two parts. Number one is supply chain partners. Well, I think which we have elaborated a lot on that. And number two is about the incubation of KOLs. So KOLs are effectively salespeople of our platform. So they are extremely important and instrumental to the success of our business.
对，然后在我们的供应链的建设里面，刚才讲到我们会对这个品牌，就是时尚类的品牌，会在这个疫情以后，我们已经有一系列的政策招募他们入驻。那现在我们也非常希望对于源头的这个供应链是偏向于更多时尚商品，然后 SKU 比较多的这样的源头供应链，我们希望能够更多的帮助和支持他们。因为这样一方面可以降低我们平台上的商品的这个价格，就提高性价比。另外一方面，我们也可以让消费者的需求更直接的反馈到生产的这个环节，来提升我们整个系统的效率。
So on the supply chain, apparently after the pandemic, we have been working very closely with a lot of supply chain partners. We want to work with the original factories, especially those factories that provide KOL or I guess K-driven native internet brands, because these brands are most well received by our customers, and apparently because of that, our customers like these clothes, and we want to provide a very strong value proposition by cutting off all the middlemen in the supply chain, so we can work with the factories directly, and they can ship the clothes from factories to our end customers.
然后在主播这一端，我们非常重要的一件事情是提升我们主播的这个素质和水准，也就包括他的专业技能包括他在长久的发展的过程中，是否有可能成为未来的我们这些供应链的长久的这样的一个合作的伙伴的形式，无论是以模特的形式出现，还是主播，亦或是品牌主理人甚至是这个品牌的形象代言人等等这样的一些形象的出现。那我们并不希望他们仅仅只是一个销售人员，我们希望他的能力能够更强，然后能够去应对未来3到5年时尚零售领域里面的全新的发展。所以我们昨天提出来一个新的计划，就是对于那些将来会新加入蘑菇街的非常有潜力的，能够在未来3到5年去这个影响中国时尚零售方式的这样的一些主播同仁，我们会给予这个底薪的这样的一个政策来吸引他们的加入。当然他们的这个最终的收益一定是和销售结果挂钩的我们并不会说无论如何的销售结果就直接支付，那样对公司财务角度上来讲肯定也是不合适的所以整个是一个比较长久的计划，并不是短期内一个让我们现在比如说我们现在平台上的数万的主播我们都开始给他们发底薪并不是这么一个事情。
Yes, on the second part about the incubation of KOL, so we believe that not just the sales of the company, we want to make them, or we want to incubate more quality, or I guess more professional KOLs. So they have a lot of professional skills. They have potential to become the superstar on MOGU. They can become the brand curator or the brand owner of many fashion brands on MOGU, and they can not just sell the products, but they have the capability to develop and to incubate new products on their own. So this base pay is really paying for their high potential. We would like to work with them for the next 3 to 5 years. We have a very long-term dedication to these KOLs. And of course, the base pay is to attract talents, but majority of their income going forward will be still from the commission. because commission, they are still that video broadcasting hosts. We will help them to grow, and once they become established, most of the revenue, most of the income they have are still from the sales. But back to your question, we are very dedicated to develop a long-term relationship with our KOLs, and this base pay does not create any financial distress to us. And we believe this is a very important and critical long-term investment we can make.
好的，请问我还能再问一个问题吗？这个
没有把这个放到机会给到其他的投资人。
好的 ，OK， 好的，谢谢。
Thank you, Lucky.
The next question comes from Charlie Chen from China Renaissance. Your line is open.
又给我一次机会提问。我看一下就是过去的3月份，我们这块无论是从降幅还是从这个收入的一个占比，喂。
Charlie，
都算是有一个。
Charlie, you're breaking up. I can't hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's better now. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. 我想请问一下，就是过去3个月，其实 sales and marketing 这一块的费用，其实从占比或者是 absolute amount， 其实都下降比较快。所以我们想就是公司给一下这个指引，或者是就是 underline 一个解释，就是是怎么样能达成这样的一个 cost saving。那么再这个 translate 一下。I noticed that there is a substantial cuts in the sales and marketing expenses in the past 3 months, both in absolute amounts as well as a percentage of revenue. So can you give me a little more elaboration on how to achieve this kind of cost saving and how is the sales and marketing trend going forward?
这个大致这个背景是这样的，因为我们在这个过去这个最近的2年吧，其实大家都能看到，事实上我们在一个销售模式上有一个占比的一个变化，就是直播的占比越来越大，然后以前的那一类开放平台的货架式的这个销售的部分的占比越来越小，然后直播的这个销售的形式和原有的形式有了非常大的一个区别，就是我们直播客户的粘性远远的高过以前的这种销售的方式。我在前面的演讲中已经提到，就是我们的直播购买客户的数量从之前的200多万已经增长到现在的360万左右，然后他们的这个平均观看的天数，就是每个月30天里面有21天在看直播，他们15天的复购率达到了86%，然后这个 UP 值是远远的高过之前的这个纯货架式的这个销售的方式。所以因为这样一个变化呢，所以我们团队经过非常慎重的这个测试讨论以及大量的数据的分析，我们得出的一个结论是说，直播的客户他需要更加精准，而不是说广泛的撒网。这个跟以前不太一样，因为以前的做法可能说大量的投放，通过一个漏斗模型，然后最后转化为我们的这个销售和 revenue。但直播的这个业务模型可能更加不像个漏斗，而更像刚才说到每个主播更像是一个商业地产，你可以认为每一个主播都是我们的一家门店，所以这个模型更多的变成了主播的单位经济，就是对每一个主播做非常深度和细致的这个运营，这个运营里面包括如何匹配他的货品，设定他的人设，以及做他的流量增长的计划。那在这样的一个思路结构的转变之下呢，类似于大水漫灌的这种投放的方式就变得不再合适了，所以我们现在更加讲求精准的这个投放和精准的这个流量的针对性的转化吧，所以在 marketing 方面的这个投放相对之前是有 较明显的下降的。那么在未来的话呢，是否会上升？我认为很大的可能性还是会上升。上升，但是它上升的前提是一定是我们找到更加好的这个流量的转化的方式，能够在直播这个业务里面高速的去增长我的客户的这个进入的这个通路。那在那样的情况之下才会上升。但是在目前保持我们最近10几个季度一贯的同比100%的增长这样一个状况，那我的营销投放营销的成本还是可以明显的下降的。
Okay. Charlie, so I will just quickly translate the answer for the audience. So basically, number one is that we have to switch the model from traditional e-commerce to more focus on that video broadcasting e-commerce. And apparently, the traditional model has decreased as a proportion of the total GMV pie. And live video broadcasting customers are very, very sticky. They are extremely sticky, so that they spend 21 days out of a month to watch LVB, and their 15 days repurchase rate is 86%. Their ARPU has been increasing, and the ARPU is much higher than we have ever seen in the traditional e-commerce model. So with that, we can see that the live video broadcasting channel is actually more about unit economics. Is less about filtering massive traffic to a few percent of buyers. So the model has to switch. And number two, as we mentioned, all the LVB hosts, they are just like commercial properties. They're just like commercial properties. They're like stores. They're like flagship stores for MOGU. So our focus going forward is actually to deepen our operation and deepen our cooperation with them, help them to have more targeted user and traffic acquisition strategy, so that because we have very targeted marketing for their fans and for their respective new users, so our user expense actually came down. In the future, do we think it's possible that will go up again? Yes, it's possible. We don't rule out that possibility. However, in the future, we need to carefully consider the accuracy of acquiring these users, because the traditional model or the traditional marketing expense, the traditional way of user acquisition doesn't really apply to the new model of LVB. So we need to be very, very selective and do very targeted marketing.
好的，谢谢 ，Thank you。
I have no further questions in queue. I turn the call back over to Mr. Arnell for closing remarks.
Oh, actually, it looks like we have Veronica from China Renaissance on the line. Could you put her question through, please?
Certainly. Veronica Chen, your line is open.
陈总，然后 Raymond 你们好，然后我有3个小问题想请教一下，然后我第一个问题还是关于直播方面的，想问一下管理层可不可以给我们一个就是 breakdown， 是关于这个主播数量的，就是我们头部主播现在占比大概是多少，然后这些头部主播对我们的 top line 的贡献大概是多少，然后未来这个趋势是怎么样，我们是会更多的去扩展我们的这个主播的数量，还是说是希望着重培养这个头部主播，希望他们单场贡献可能更多，然后我所指的头部主播可能是大概单场是贡献在1000万左右水平的吧。然后我的第二个小问题是关于那个我们的指引的，能不能给我们一个就比如说2季度的一个指引，就是具体我们预期收入端是能有一个多大幅度的增长，还有就是怎么看这个618大促，然后我们有一些什么样的动作然后我先翻译一下我这2个问题，然后稍后等您答完我再继续问我第3个问题。Well, my first question is regarding to the LVB business, and could you please give us a breakdown of the host members and what is the percentage of top-tier hosts, and could you please quantify the contribution from this top-tier host to our top line, and how should we look at the trends going forward? Well, my second question is regarding to the guidance for 2Q. Could you please give us some color about the top line growth into Q, and could you share more about your plan for promotion events in June? Thanks.
Maybe Veronica, I will just take your question first. So for the breakdown of hosts, right? We actually don't disclose very specific number that the breakdown of the different level of hosts. But one thing I can tell you is that because we are in the fashion e-commerce business, right? So the monthly effect, or I guess the concentration risk for us is much lower. Our customers do value different type of influencers. As different type of influencers, we actually open them up to various fashion choices. So that's number one. Our influencer is actually quite diversified, and our user taste also very diversified. And we are seeing that the top level of our live video broadcasting hosts are showing very strong efficiency, so that they will grow very, very fast. But because of the supply chain empowerment and a lot of logistics and infrastructure help support we provide to our KOLs, the middle part or the long tail hosts are also growing accordingly. And we have this content community so that each and every one of them have their voice to be heard. So this is a very important differentiating factors that differentiate us from other live video broadcasting platforms. And so that's to your first question. And to the second question, we actually don't provide revenue guidance at this point. But as I mentioned earlier, I think we are very confident that we reach a inflection point. I think China fashion e-commerce has generally reached an inflection point. China has reached an inflection point. Live video broadcasting has accelerated the entire society's adoption of new form of sales. So this digital adoption and the digital transformation will change deeply the supply chain of Chinese fashion industry. And we are seeing that more and more people are embracing this form. We will have more hosts joining us. We will have more supply chain partners joining us. So I think we're very confident about our future. So we will just try our very best to see how we can embrace this future.
好，谢谢 Raymond。然后我的第三个小 ，OK，
Yeah, please.
可以听到吗？Thank you。
可以。
我第三个小问题是关于这个服装品类的，就可不可以大概跟我们说一下，就目前我们看到的一个复苏的情况，因为确实在 EQ 的话，因为疫情的一个影响，大家可能对服饰类的需求是比较薄弱的。然后目前2季度截止到现在，我们怎么看这个恢复的一个情况？就还有就是有没有看到，比如说大家是对一些当季的一些服装更感兴趣，还是说对一些折扣比较多的一些商品更感兴趣？然后我来翻译一下我的问题。Well, my question is regarding to the apparel category. Could you give us more color on the recovery process of apparel category, especially female apparel, since the demand is quite soft in 1Q? Have you ever seen a strong rebound after people return to work in March, or people prefer to buy new and second clothes instead of discounted and off-season products? And could you please share some thoughts about that? Thanks.
谢谢这个问题，我来回答。然后刚好也借你这个问题，我想发表一点关于中国大众的时尚未来发展趋势的一些看法。分短期、中期和长期来看，我们分别受3个比较大的因素的影响。短期来说，受疫情的影响会比较明显；中期来说呢，会受中国整体 GDP 的增速下降这个因素会比较明显。长期呢，也反而是和中国文化本身的这个越来越多受到年轻人的追捧和崛起相关。OK， 然后短期内的状况是这样的，就是自然年的今年1季度显然是非常非常糟糕的。从大盘来说的话，服装品类下降，就同比下降，就包括线上包括线下，大约是40%。 然后化妆护肤的品类大约是30%，有来自各个方面的数据，以及我们在这个线下各个产地，包括批发市场集散中心的各个调研，多方数据印证，大概就是这么一个状况。这是30%到40%的同比负增长，这是大盘。
Yeah. So maybe I would just address this question, and I'll probably add some commentary about the macro trend of China. So I think for the apparel industry, we are seeing that in the short term, of course, it's going to be affected by the pandemic. But in the medium term, I think it's more related with the Chinese GDP, and longer term, it has more thing to do with the Chinese culture and Chinese ecosystem. So in the last quarter, we are seeing that maybe from various sources, apparel industry has decreased by 40%, and the cosmetic beauty products has decreased by 30%. So that's basically the information we are getting from all different kinds of the sources we are seeing.
然后对于接下来的1-2个季度，整个时尚这个大盘的这个变化和影响，事实上我比较难以预测因为大众时尚和这个社交活动是密切相关的，可以说没有社交活动的话就不会有时尚需求，那这个就会和疫情、政府的各个政策是密切相关的。站在我们企业的角度上来讲呢，确实是受到了比较多的影响，但是一方面我们非常支持政府的这些抗疫的政策，因为大家的健康仍然是第一位的，我想只有健康的身体才会有未来更加好的这个整个社会生活的恢复吧。有了社交活动，时尚需求是必然会增长，所以这个呢短期内有很多不确定的因素，所以对于后面2个季度的这个指引，其实我也比较难以去预测。但是我们企业自身除了支持政府的这个政策以外呢，我们也积极的去应对这个变化就像我们也和很多其他的受到影响的时尚品牌合作刚好通过直播这样的方式来帮助他们增加一些销售。那么我们平台也会在这个扩品牌、扩价位这些方面呢带来一些助力所以尽可能在这样的一个比较糟糕的大环境之下大家互相帮助、互相成就这是我们在短期内会做的一些事情。
Okay. Maybe for the next 2 quarters, it's actually quite difficult for us to predict an exact number. On one side, that we believe we're very supportive of the Chinese government's policy on social distancing, because it's extremely important to have everyone stay healthy and everyone stay healthy and to make sure that our economy can recover sometime soon and our society won't be affected as much. So that's very important. We support all the government's policies. In addition to support the government, we also closely work with all the supply chain partners, brand partners, work with them. In our value, we believe that we want to help them we want to help all our partners to survive this crisis at the same time. So it's very difficult for me to predict what's going to happen in the next 2 quarters, but I'll try our very best to work with them.
然后从中期来说，我们会这个整个大众时尚领域会受到比较大影响的是中国 GDP 增速的这个下降。当 GDP 增速下降的时候，消费者会更多的倾向于去消费功能完备，但是品牌溢价没有那么高的商品所以在时尚领域的话，它明显的表现就是说对于赚溢价的品牌的这个消费在大众领域里面可能就会下降，那么更多的来自于产地来自于工厂来自于这个比较源头的款式时尚，然后质量可靠、价格便宜，仅仅是没有品牌溢价的这些商品会受到更多的用户的追捧。 而恰恰像网红啊，像直播啊，有这样的一些销售渠道，会弥补没有品牌、没有背书的这个劣势。所以在中期来看的话，我们认为网红电商是会非常非常受益的一种形式。
Yes. So in the medium term, we believe that the GDP has a bigger role to play in the fashion industry, because the Chinese consumers will not be able to pay for much brand premium going forward. They will probably care more about quality, functionality, or I guess the value for money from part of the products more. So at MOGU platform, we also work with factories, with the original producer of all these clothes, instead of people who are actually adding more brand premium to the products. We work with these original producers to ensure that the products, as they deliver to the customers, they are value for money, and the pricing is very transparent, and we cut off all the middleman. This is also a very good news for all the KOL-driven ecosystem, KOL-driven e-commerce.
然后从长期来说呢，中国文化肯定会在中国国内首先会变得更加强势。表现在消费领域的话，就是消费者对于海外品牌的热衷和追捧的热度会下降，会有更多的国内品牌、设计师品牌，然后网红品牌会成长起来，这个已经是必然的趋势了。所以从长期来看，我们也会在这个方面会有更多的投入。那它的基础事实上就是更好的供应链的这个管理的能力，更好的网红和意见领袖的这个管理能力，以及协调和撮合他们形成更多的新的品牌的这样一个能力。所以就蘑菇平台本身来说，我们除了坚持在中短期加强我们的直播业务以外，我们也会逐步的开始在这个长期的策略里面投入更多在我们的供应链以及我们平台上能够长期发展能够面向未来长期新的消费需求的这样的网红的身上。前面几个问题里面我多少也都提到了这样一个判断和策略吧。所以疫情、GDP、中国文化应该是3个短中长期对大众时尚领域产生明显影响的要素吧。
So in the long term, we believe that the Chinese culture will be a very powerful impact in the fashion, in the mass market Chinese fashion market. And as we believe that a lot of fashion designer brands will be popping up all over China, and we mobile platform will have the privilege to work with them, and we believe that a lot of influencers will be incubated on internet platforms, and we want to bridge them with supply chain partners or bridge them with factories. So in the short term, LVB business is very important for us, but in long term, it's very important that we bear in mind the KOLs representing the next generation of new brands in China. So just to sum up, our view of the Chinese fashion market going forward, in short term, of course, it will be affected by pandemic, but in the medium to long term, Chinese GDP and Chinese culture will be the main factors driving forward.
谢谢黄总，谢谢 Raymond， 谢谢陈总，谢谢 Raymond。
谢谢。Operator, do you have more questions on the floor?
I have no further questions on the Q&A portion. I turn the call back over to Christian Arnell for closing remarks.
Thank you everyone for joining us tonight. If you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to reach out to the MOGU IR team. That concludes the call. Have a good night.
Thank you everyone.
Thank you
everyone. This will conclude today's conference call. You may now disconnect.